Our countdown to tip-off continues. Our stop today is in Searcy, and we get to visit with the dean of the coaches in men's basketball in the Great American Conference, Coach Jeff Morgan. I thought that might get a smile. I don't know if that, talks about
because I'm the oldest.
There we go.
I'm not the oldest. I think that would fall with like Kelly Green, and So I think Kelly maybe can latch onto that. We'll let him have that title.
I'll tell you what, don't get me in trouble with Kelly Green before I've done his interview.
You can tell Kelly I said that too, yes.
We're here with Jeff Morgan, who at least has the longest tenure in the GAC among the men's basketball coaches. And Coach, along the way then, that would allow me to make this transition. In doing so, there are some highs and some lows. And last season, didn't make it to the tournament. Matter of fact, it's been a couple of 3 years since the Bisons have been in the GAC tournament. Last year, it seemed to be the second half of the season where really things seemed to, maybe derail a little bit. 2-9 over the course of the second swing in the GAC conference slate. Talk about that, and then how do you make the shift to bring things around here this season?
Well, I think if you look at our season last year prior to Christmas, we felt really good about it. The year before, the 2 years before, we had some really significant injuries that really put us behind the eight ball. Last year, we felt like November, December were a couple of really good months for us. We had some good wins in November. We came home and we played. We had a good win at Arkansas Fort Smith. We had a good win against Henderson here. Really kind of thinking, okay, this is what this team could look like with a lot of new pieces and counting on some really young guys. And then we had to shut down Roman Martin at Christmas so he could have shoulder surgery. And that really hurt us. And I felt like the first 2 or 3 weeks of January, we were just really struggling to find ourselves. But I felt like over the course of the last 10 games, we really found ourselves. We really played well. We just ended up on the wrong end of a few. We did win an overtime game here against Arkansas Tech. We went to East Central on the road when they were playing awesome and lost in double overtime. Lost in overtime to Arkansas Monticello. I mean, I felt like the last 10 games really set us up to have a really good off season. And we were feeling really good about it. And then, of course, everybody went home. So that kind of took away from the off season that we were super excited about. But I don't think it's waned any of our guys' excitement about this year. We have a great nucleus back of guys, and then we have 5 newcomers that we're really excited about too.
Speaking now with Jeff Morgan, the head men's basketball coach at Harding. And Coach, that really is that's an important thing to think about. And really, I would imagine from your perspective, to a message to get across to the kids that you were in it. The final 12 games of the season, 4 overtime games. One of those, as you mentioned, a double overtime session as well. So the Bisons were in it all the way through, and looking forward to coming into this season. And as you've had to make the adjustment, one of the things about that too, Coach, is that even though it wasn't the offseason necessarily that you had wanted, there has been time now to make that transition, and you have some experience coming back. 3 seniors on this team that are part of last season's program: Romeo Harvey, Amir Ahmedich, and Tyler Roth. And Ahmedich and Harvey, solid starters for you, and Roth played all throughout the season as well, giving you quality minutes. Talk about your seniors.
Yeah, and I think those guys and our young guys too were just real quick. You mentioned those last few games, 9, 10, 11 games, but really proud of our guys for continuing to improve as the year went on. I mean, I thought, we really set ourselves up well in those last kind of down the stretch, and they really hung in there and they really fought hard and really played together. And I think there would be a lot of people that would assumed we weren't together or had great chemistry, but they really found a way to really play well and play together. And I think that set us up for a good off season leading into this year with Emir, Romeo, Tyler. Romeo obviously had a great year for us, scoring it last year, and he played once Roman had to stop playing, kind of made that transition. Romeo more at the point, but he had a great year and was a great just vocal leader and brought great energy every day. Emir's one of those kind of guys too. Emir just never has a bad day. Comes in here every day excited for practice and what we got going. So, and Tyler Roth is the same way. Tyler, doesn't score it, doesn't do some things that those guys do, but Tyler is a great teammate. He's a great locker room guy. He's a great glue guy that just brings great energy every day and does those things really well, which every team's got to have those people. And so we're excited about those guys being back and being back for this year and where we're headed from now with our 5 newcomers and then the guys we have back, from last year that saw a lot of playing time, especially in those last 10 or so games.
Coach, the experience is there for you. And no, that's not an old joke. I'm not just sticking around on that, but I know that you know what it takes to bring these young men together. One of the things that's always stands out to me, and it's well documented, that Harding, is a program that you're able to bring the kids in as freshmen and they stay with the program for a while. Of some of those newcomers that you have on this team, you do have some transfers as well. Talk about the chemistry and how they have found their way onto the team.
Well, it was really a unique year for everybody with COVID and last spring and not being able to do visits, in-person on-campus visits and those kind of things. But we do have 2 freshmen we're really excited about. Dorian Bikovic, that's from Croatia, that's a point guard. We're really excited about him as a freshman. Stetson Smithson, who's from right down the road, about 10 miles from Bald Knob, Arkansas, I think is going to have a chance to be a really good player. And then our 3 transfers, Josh Perkins, who played at the same junior college as Romeo did, Romero Santiago, who Romero played for one of our former GAs in Kansas, Seward County, and so those guys, we're super excited about that. James Harris, who comes to us from a junior college in Iowa, and all those guys have been great fits. It's really weird because most of the time, we have a chance to bring those guys to campus, let them experience Harding, let them experience what it's all about, be around our teammates. But because I think too, we got players that come from programs that we were very familiar with, has been a big part of that. And they've come in, they've done a great job. They have fit really well. Chemistry, I think, is even better than it was in our last 10 games last year. I think those 5 new guys have really done a great job. And then obviously the nucleus of guys we have back with Roman Martin, who's been here 4 years now, Romeo going into another year, Emir, Tyler, Jordan West, who's, now a junior, Collier Blackburn, Davis being a freshman last year and coming in, Davis Morgan being a sophomore, being back and getting that experience. All those guys that got a lot of playing time last year and got some good experience. Tyler Moore now, who's hasn't played a whole lot, but he's been in the program for 4 years now. And all of those guys are doing a great job of chemistry-wise, and practice has been fun. Practice has been really competitive, and it's been really good. So we're excited about where we go from here.
All right. Well, the Bison's looking to make it back to the Great American Conference tournament after a little bit of an absence, but as you can see by that bracket on the back wall back there, they've been there and done that before, and Coach Morgan a part of that, looking to try to get the Harding Bisons back in the GAC postseason. Coach, the Bisons picked, according to the preseason coaches poll, 6th in the Eastern Division. Success to you this season, and thank you so much for taking time with us today as we count down to tip off in the GAC.
Well, we appreciate it. I tell you, we're just super excited to have January 7th as a date out there that we can all shoot for to play, because I know how excited all the coaches are, how excited all the players are to have that date out there that we can look forward to playing, all the work that's gone into it. We appreciate you so much and the league and everything that they do to promote all of our athletic teams and basketball and everything. But we're excited and anxious to get beyond Christmas and get to that January 7th date where we're all going to tip it up.
January 7th, that's the day to look forward to. Thank you, sir.
All right, appreciate it.